Hi guys, it's Jake here. I've got an M20 by SJCAM. This is a little action camera with a truckload of features on it. There are some people that say that this is the first GoPro knockoff that actually knocks off the GoPro. I don't know about that because I've never owned a GoPro, but I have owned a number of action cameras. Always the budget ones because my budget is always severely limited. I got this one and I bought it through Amazon. It is available in a number of other places. You can get it through GearBest. You can get it all over the place. But I got mine through Amazon so I could get it really fast. And shipping was great on it. And I think this is a good action camera. It has a waterproof case. And this waterproof case is good up to 30 meters. That's 90 feet. You don't have a lot of action cameras that are good to 90 feet, 90. So there you go. That's what this thing has. And, of course, you get the skeleton case for it. And everything that they've got made for it is very well thought through. It's got a mount point on the top of the case. It's got a mount point on the bottom of this case, the skeleton case. Let me take that off. Woo! On the bottom. And it's got a clip, so you can just do a regular clip onto your pocket or whatever, whatever you want. And all kinds of different mount options that come in it. You can hook it onto a bar, mount it on nice and snug. And 501, that's an exaggeration, different options for mounting it. I did one of my flashlight headband cases, flashlight headband things, and I just cut off the front little bracket, used the sticker brackets that they have with it, and I just stuck it on, and then I can put it on. Oh, it's come apart right now, unlooped, but so I can put it on my head, and that works fairly well. Lots of different options. Now, we do have one challenge, and that is when you put a video on YouTube, all the video resolution gets dumbed down big time and compressed and everything, and you get to see it. So you can't really see the quality of the video if I show you on this video, and I don't have any way of showing you the actual footage quality. But you get everything from 4K at 24 frames per second, which is its high resolution, a little bit, frame rate's a little bit low. At 2K, you can get full frame rate. At 2K, you can get full frame rate. At 1080p, you can get all the way up to 120 frames per second. Most people can't see the difference when you get past about 60 frames per second. You go higher and they just really can't tell the difference. So certainly the 30 that most TV is and movies and stuff are, 30 frames per second. You double that and it's awesome, but you can quadruple it if you really want to. One of the really big things that I like is, how you've got an action camera and it just shoots this really wide angle. So everything from way over there to way over there would all be in this picture. Like right now, you can't see my fingertips on both arms. But with the action camera, you'd be able to see way past my fingertips at this same distance away from the camera. But the M20 has an option of, if it's normally taking a frame rate field of view like that, you can change it to do a medium or a more narrow field of view. Of course, that just means it cuts off part of the side of the picture, but it cuts it off at the recording point, so you don't have to do all that editing later on, which is a really good thing. You've got dash cam mode, where it'll do loop recording. It'll turn on when you start your vehicle, if you got it plugged into the power port on your vehicle. You've got, what are the other options? You've got loads of different options on here. I tried using most of them, and there's just so many. And it comes in this very tiny form factor. That's a very small action camera. It does have some shortcomings, and one of them is it has no option for an external mic. And that would be a good thing, but it doesn't have one. And the internal mic is, average, maybe below average a little bit. It's not the best internal mic. That being said, when you're using this thing underwater or you're doing the action shots, if you hook this little thing up to like a remote control helicopter or drone or whatever, you're not using the audio anyway. So there's so many different uses that you don't really use the audio at all. And I think that's probably why they decided when they were shrinking the form factor that there was no place to add an external mic port, because it would probably not be used anyway. And if that's what you're looking for, well, you get a different camera for it. SJCAM's got loads of different cameras, ones that have really good external mic ports, if that's what you're looking for. So I don't find that as a shortcoming enough of a reason not to buy this camera if you want the resolution and everything, if that's your main point. So what we have here is we got audio video out, which is HDMI mode. You've got a USB port for charging it. And then you've got the little slot for your micro SD card. Yes, it's called TF. A lot of people still don't get it. TF is the old designation, the original designation for micro SD. They were calling them TF cards, and now they call them micro SD cards. It takes up to 32 gigabytes from just any old brand you want, as long as it's got 10 as the speed. And then they've got a list of cards that work at 64 and 128 gigabytes. And that's a pretty good long list that you can use different cards. So all the way up to 128 is really, really nice. There's an app for it, of course, which works good. It's also got Wi-Fi features, so that's how it will connect to your, you press this button for Wi-Fi, it starts to light up blue, has your SSID there and the password. The password's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can change that and customize it, which is a good thing. I recommend that highly. Put in your custom Wi-Fi, and when the Wi-Fi is working, that blue light's blinking. And otherwise, you can just use it and start taking your video. Works very, very well. You've got a remote control that you put on your wrist. I don't have one of those yet, but that's a really good feature if you're going to be having it stuck like on a helmet cam or some other mode where it would just be nonsense to try to press these buttons and know exactly what you're doing when it's on your head. You just control it with the remote control on your wristwatch. Well, it's not really your wristwatch. Or, of course, you can control it through your cell phone and use the app and control it that way. So let me give you just a little bit of footage. I remind you again, this footage is totally dumbed down by YouTube and the compression algorithms and everything, but just a little bit of an idea of some of the video that I got using this camera. Birdhouse. Actually, it's a feeder. Wonder if it can choose what to focus on with all these branches. Let's go into a dark space. It's very dark in here. Way too dark for normal pictures. My tricycle put away for the winter. And then let's transition to very bright outside. Well, we'll see how good that does. The higher ground. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I should be able to find that. That doesn't sound too difficult. Google is always helpful. Okay. That's not bad. And compare indoor lighting and go straight outdoor and see what the camera does. So thanks so much for watching. If you like this camera, there's lots of different places to buy it. look down in the description below. I get a little bit of a referral fee if you use the Amazon links down there, so thank you so much for that. And remember, if you want really good video, look at SJCAM and maybe consider the M20.